Hi all and welcome to Oligo Models. Today we're going to be doing issues 59 and 60 of build Spitfire Mk1A from Hachette Partworks. So issue 59 is quite simple. There's not too much to do with it. There's just the one piece to put onto the right side of the fuselage. So without further ado, let's build this.
So we've got the Spitfire here that you can see that's sitting on the stand that I've made over, which is available over at oligomodels.com/shop, where you can pick it up for yourself. And the first thing that it wants us to do in this issue is we're going to take the right side fuselage frame. We're just going to make sure it fits on the aircraft that we've already got. That looks like it's going to fit nicely there. So we can see that on this part we've got this little piece here which needs to go underneath this here, and then this piece here on the new frame, we've got a hole in there with a lug and a screw hole, and it will sit in place like that, and it's going to be held in place with 2 times 4mm PM screws into this hole here and this hole here. So let's get that done. So as we're going into metal, I'm going to use a drop of oil, just like so. And then with this new piece sitting in place, screw it in. One first of all, going into the rear section here, and very easily. Take another screw. Again, the drop of oil. Slightly fiddlier, going into this hole. But we're in there now. And again, screwing in very easily. Making sure that they're both nice and tight. And that is issue 59 done with this new piece of framework in place.
So with issue 59 done, let's get straight on with issue 60.
So as you can see, there's a few more parts we get in issue 60. We've now got the left side fuselage frame, which I guess will mirror what we've already done on the right. We've got an antenna, we've got an LED and the label for it, we've got a magnet in this stage. We've also got some more screws. We've got some PM 2 times 4mm screws, and then we've got a sprue with the housing for the LED.
So with all those parts there, let's build this.
So the first thing to do is to just dry fit the magnet in this slot here, which it does. As it is very loose, it does only go in the one way. And once we're happy with that fit, once just take some glue and put them in there. A little bit more. Want us to glue the magnet in place. It now sits there like so. The next thing it wants us to do is take the cable off the LED, straighten that out. Then it wants us to place the label, which is labelled L6, onto the wire. We'll peel that off. And taking the end closest to the connector, I'm just going to wrap that round So that stays in place like so. Next thing to do is we're going to take the sprue that's got the LED housing on it in 2 parts. Put those down for a second. Hopefully you might be able to see on the camera we've got part A and part B. Part A is the one that's got the 2 little pegs on. Part B is the one that's got the slots in. So we're going to cut these off. And 2. The next thing to do is we're going to push the LED into the housing for it, just to make sure that the LED sits nicely. I'm going to drop just a tiny bit of glue into the bottom where it's going to sit on, so it stays in place properly and it doesn't fall out. Just hold that on there for a second to make sure that it sits in place. With that nice and secure, we can then take the top portion that's got the pegs on it, then we can apply a drop of glue to the 2 pegs, and then we can sandwich it all together, just like that. Make sure it's nicely stuck, and that's how it looks from the other side. The next thing to do is we're going to take the LED housing with the LED in it that we've just made. We're going to make sure it's orientated in the right direction, which is just like this, and then it wants us to take it and place it into this recess here, so it will sit there just like that. And then once we're happy with it, it's just to apply some glue and glue it into place. So we'll bring in the glue, pop some glue into these recesses, make sure it's orientated in the right direction again, and then slot it into place like so. And there we've got our LED with the housing nicely in place. The next thing it wants us to do is to take the antenna, and we've got here, which again is metal, so it's nice and strong, and place it in to the slot that we've got just here, like so. So happy with the fit, so we'll apply some glue. Make sure there's plenty of glue there so it holds nicely in place, and then we slot it in like that. So with that in place, we're going to take the glue out of the way, because we don't need that now. I'm going to bring over the left portion of the frame, and we're going to bring over our screws. Get those out. So we're going to move this, make sure this wire is just tidily out of the way, and then it wants us, as we did before, just to do a test fit of this piece here. Again, like last time, making sure that this section here goes over the top and this section here goes underneath, and then carefully slotting it together with the other pieces that we've also got now, and actually sit there quite nicely. So with that in place, it's now probably actually the best time to bring over the new rear stand that we've got. The first time of using it, so I'm going to spin it around to extend it to a height that works for us. With that, a good height, this will now enable us to use both hands. So we'll take a screw, drop it in a bit of oil. I'm going to go into this hole first of all, noticing that with that new stand in place, I'm able to put a fair bit of pressure onto the back to get it nice and tight without the need to actually support it myself. another screw. I'm going into this hole here. Making sure it's nice and tight. With those two,
then we've got two more holes on the top that we need to locate. So we've got one just here at the rear, and then one there's one further forward, just the other side of the antenna. Then going to take another screw, drop it in a bit of oil as we're going into metal, and we're going to place it into that hole just at the back there. Making sure that the screwdriver's in the top of the screw. And then screw that together nice and tight. And there we go, that's pulled the rear of those two pieces together quite nicely. So we'll take another screw, again locating the other hole just to the other side of the antenna, and we're going to screw that in there nicely. And there we go, that's nice and tight. And that is issues 59 and 60 all complete. So it's the first time that I've used the new rear stand that's up on my online store. If you want to get it for yourself, head on over to oligomodels.com/shop where you'll be able to find it. I have to say, this did make life very easy. If you like the video, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to be kept up to date with all of my latest videos, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Till next time, take care.